طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. In terms of hadith, we're in chapter 9. This is a chapter that Imam Bukhari, he brings saying that knowledge precedes speech and action. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Know that there's none worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So knowledge precedes action. A lot of times, we think that, it's all about the heart, it's all about the intention, it's all about me just being a good person, this thing, that thing. I mean, obviously it's good stuff, but sometimes in Arabic there's a saying, كَلِمَةُ الْحَقِّ يُرِيدُ بِهَا الْبَاطِلِ. It's a right statement, but it's batil, it's false, it's message that it's trying to convey. So, you say, my intentions are good, I didn't mean this, that, all these different things, but it's not just the intentions. It's not just the speech. It's actually making sure that you're knowledgeable of what you're trying to say. It's actually making sure that you're knowledgeable of what you're actually going to do. You cannot just think that, okay, you know what? I'm going to act in accordance to how I wish of how, like for example, a week or two ago, we talked about inheritance, right? You could be acting very pious and say, half of my charity, half of my inheritance, I'm gonna give it to, such and such a charity. But you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to give 1/3, right? So that's an action that you think you're doing something pious, but because it lacks knowledge, it's like you're just doing it for the sake of that, right? And similarly in speech, sometimes you might think that you're just saying something good, but a lot of times people thinking that they're saying something good, they say things that are actually go completely against deen and everything like that. For example, I remember even here, one of the uncles in Taraweeh time, he was like, oh man, I'm so tired to pray Taraweeh. And, the other uncle, he jumps in, he's like, oh, no problem, just go home, rest, no problem, deen is easy. And deen is this, and deen is this. And he just went in to give a fatwa all on his own. Now he's thinking like, okay, I'm making deen easy for this guy or whatever it is. But, look, there is some level of exertion of yourself. That's why Taraweeh is called Taraweeh, because you're exerting yourself, and in between the two rakahs, you're taking a break to relieve yourself. The Prophet ﷺ, his feet used to swell up. You think it's enjoyable standing while your feet have swollen up? No, but there's that sense of exerting yourself. And so the uncle might have thought that I'm just telling him, go home, relax, Taraweeh is just a sunnah, it's not a big deal. But in reality, he's taking away the ruh of what Taraweeh is supposed to be about, and he's telling the uncle, just go, it's no problem, just go rest. Similarly, you're trying to give more of your inheritance into charity, but you're not allowed to give up to a certain extent. So you're intending good, but because it's lacking knowledge behind it, you're actually, I would say in certain cases, getting sin instead of good. And that's why seeking knowledge is so crucial. That's why seeking knowledge is fard on every single individual. And so being in the status of being a student of knowledge, even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brings upon death, which is going to come to every one of us, the bare minimum is we could say, Allah, I was in your path trying to seek knowledge. Even though you have not become a full-fledged scholar, and to be honest with you, it doesn't matter which scholar alive today, he doesn't have a full grasp of the deen. The deen is so vast that you're never going to know. The other day, we had one student, he was trying to come for admission to our school. And so I told him school is going to start in August, but since you're here, I have to go and pick out some books to take to Dr. Masood. So you could come to the library with me and we'll pick out the books. So I was looking at the books and he's like, wow, look at all these books. And he was just amazed. And then after that, he's looking, he's like, all of these are the same design. What is this whole same design? Which books are these? I said, they're all one book. He pointed at Fathul Bari. I said, this is all one book. He's like, one book? What is it? I was like, it's the Sharh al-Bukhari. He's like, wow, it's in 30 volumes. And then he pointed at a book next to it, which is in 20 volumes. He's like, what about this? I was like, this is also Sharh al-Bukhari. He's like, so then how many shurah? And I'm like, that's what our deen is, it's that vast. Right? We have this library, we could fill the library 10 times this, and still it would not be enough to encompass all that our deen has. So when we are in the quest of knowledge, it doesn't matter, even if it takes to our lifetime, just being in the status of being a student at least gives us an excuse in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for some of our mistakes. Because there are so many things that we do and say that are not right. They're completely wrong. Even if they're with correct intentions, but they're wrong. But at least if we're seeking knowledge, we could go to Allah and say, Ya Allah, we were trying, we were students of knowledge, right? And so being in that state of, trying to seek knowledge, and inshallah, hopefully we can go on to other courses as well, courses in fiqh, courses in tafsir, and different things like that, to inshallah gain more and more knowledge in that as well. Then inshallah. We'll go to our Arabic class. Our Arabic class today is not very heavy because most of the stuff you guys have already learned before. Just to give a little bit of review of what we have covered last, right? Can somebody tell me, in Arabic, sentence is of how many types?
Two.
Very good. Sentence is of two types, Jumlatul Fi'liyah and Jumlatul Ismiyah. Jumlatul Fi'liyah is a sentence that starts with what? Verb. And Jumlatul Ismiyah is a sentence that starts with noun. And we have covered all the ones like Mubtada, Khabar, and all of those things. They will fall into which category? Jumlatul Ismiyah. Okay, so can somebody remind me, last week we covered it. What are the common three components of Jumlatul Fi'liyah? The common three components of a sentence that starts with a verb. Okay. Okay.
And maf'ul bihi.
Fa'il, fa'il, and maf'ul bihi. Very good. Fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul bihi. Okay, somebody remind me, what does fa'il mean? Action. Verb, basically. And the fa'il? Well, what's the fa'il meaning? The doer. And what's the maf'ul bihi?
Action done.
Action done. Done. Can somebody give me a sample sentence?
Farajat Muhammadun from the room.
Yeah, this is a little bit tricky. Kharaja is a little bit of a tricky word. Let's use another one that might be a little bit easier because kharaja is, you're going to learn it's a lazim word, which we'll learn later. Verbs also go into like two different categories. So let's use another verb that is easy to come with a. Okay, very good. Khalaqa Allahu Adam. Okay, so khalaqa is the fi'l, it's the action, right? Create. And Allah Lafzul Jalala is the doer. And Adam is the thing, maf'ul bihi. So this basically khalaqa Allahu Adama, right? You could say Daraba Hamidun Ahmada. Daraba, verb, Hamid, doer, Ahmad, maf'ul bihi. The action was done to him. Fataha Ahmadu al-Baba. Ahmad opened the door. Action was done to the door. So these are all the things that we basically went over last week. Today it's almost the same thing, but basically what we're focusing on is we've learned last time some things. For example, we learned pronouns, right? Can somebody give me examples of some pronouns? Okay, huwa, whom? Very good. Ka, kum, ki, kunna, okay. Ana, nahnu, anta, anti, right? So these are all basically, some of them are attached pronouns, some of them are detached pronouns. So today basically, we're basically emphasizing pronouns again, but we're going to be focusing on female versions of them. That's all we're doing basically. Kaifa haluki ya bintu. So regularly, what would you say if you met somebody and you wanted to tell them how are you doing? Right? If we were to break up kaifa haluka, how would we break it? Kaifa is a questioning tool, right? It's a questioning tool. And haluka is actually two different entities. One is the noun hal, and one is the pronoun ka. So if it's ever coming for male, we're going to attach it and say haluka. If it's coming for a female, you're going to attach it and say ki. And in this sentence, since we're talking about bint is what? Daughter. Since we're talking about a female, we're going to say kaifa halu ki, not kaifa halu ka. And this is also something we should all understand. Sometimes, we learn a little bit of Arabic, we start to practice it, and we go to everybody and we say, hey, kaifa haluka, kaifa haluka. But for a female, you're supposed to say kaifa halu ki. Right? For a female, you're supposed to say kaifa halu ki. For a male, you say kaifa halu ka. But for plural, let's say you're talking to a group of mixed both males and female, you say kaifa halukum. And that's one of the reasons why you say assalamu alaykum. Why? Because you're saying salam to the angels as well, and so it's okay. But if you were to see a woman and you were to say assalamu alayki, it would be correct. Right? You could say assalamu alayki, or you could say assalamu alaykum. Understood? So the detached pronoun that we are talking about over here is what? What's the topic of this sentence that we're focusing on? What's the main thing that we're focusing? What's the author trying to make us focus on in this sentence? It's just the key. It's just telling us that whenever you're using this pronoun, which means you, if you're gonna ever use this for a female, make sure you say he, not ka. That's all the author is trying to say over here. So up to here, everybody understood?
No. Say it again, please.
Yes. So in Arabic, I don't know if you were here for the class that we did about pronouns. So pronouns are basically different letters or different words that we could attach to a word that gives a meaning of possession. So for example, ka means yours. So when you say qalam, right? If I want to say your pen, I will say qalamuka. If I'm speaking to a guy, I will say qalamuka. If I'm speaking to a girl, I will say qalamuki. So over here, we're asking about condition, hal. What's your hal, right? Just replace qalam with hal. If I'm speaking to a guy, I will say kaifa halu ka. If I'm speaking to a female, I will say kaifa halu ki. That's all we're learning in this sentence. Okay? Alright. Now the answer is very standard. Ana bi khairin. I am good. Walhamdulillah. Okay, quick pop quiz for you. Why is it bi khairin? Why is there a kasra with tanween here?
Because the girl is answering.
The girl is answering. No, that would not make a difference.
No, Ana bi khairin. B, and then it makes it khair to.
Okay, very good. You're on the right track. But why does B do that?
So khair will belong to ana. So it's mudaf ilayhi?
No.
Is this plural?
It's Jahmilu.
Very good. Okay. So all it is you guys remember we did fi? What does fi mean? What does fi mean? In. What does ala mean?
On.
What does ila mean?
To.
And what did we say all of these words do to the letter after it? Kasra. So if I was to say ba, it would be what? Ba, bin. If I was to say ala, maktab, bin. If I was to say ila, masjid, din. Okay. So right here is ba. And ba is a harfu jar, just like these guys. That's what ba is. And it will give slightly different meaning in different contexts, but most of the time it will come with the context of with. Most of the time it will come in the context of with. So the word over here, actually, what is the actual word of, the actual word? Remove the ba. The ba is a harf jar. We're not focusing on the ba. The actual word over here is what? Khayr. Exactly. And khayr originally is what? Khayrun. Very good. The default of everything in Arabic is tanween dhamma. Khayrun. But what makes it khayrin is adding the harf jar ba, and this will cancel, and it will become bi khayrin. Up to here, everybody got it? So that's why I say ana bi khayrin. I am good. Here, it, like as I said, like ba is going to give a different. I'm with good or I am good, right? But just know that ba is a harf jar. That's why it's bi khayrin. Walhamdu lillahi. Okay. Why is it lahi? Lam. Very good. So lam is a harf jar, just like ba, just like fi, just like alam, just like all of them. Ba, as I said, it gives a meaning in its context. Most of the time it will be with, but like for example, in this case, you're not going to say I am with good. You just translate it as I'm good. So it just depends on the context, but it just means that I find myself in the condition of being with good. Up to here, everybody understood? So we know that over here, the context that we were focusing on is the first sentence was hal ki, and this one bi khayrin. Now we're going to go to the third sentence. What are we focusing on in this sentence? In the third sentence. Very good. Min aina anti. We're focusing on anti. Why? Because anti, just like you say anta for male, anti is for female. The author just bringing it up that whenever you're speaking to a female, just like you would change from ka to ki, you'll change from anta to anti. That's all he's saying. Is that understood? Any questions? No. Okay, very good. Ana min Surya. Surya is the name of Syria. There's nothing here too difficult for you guys to understand, right? It's fairly simple. Okay. Now, masmu ki. Okay. So why is the key over here? Talking to female. Okay, but what? So let's divide this. What is the sentence saying?
What is your name?
Ma ismuki. What is your name? So it's three different, even though it's two, how many letters do you see over here? How many words do you see here? Two, right? But in reality it's three. One is ma, one is ism, one is ka. But these two come together and makes it ismu ki. And because it's speaking to a female, it's going to have this, not this. Up to here, understood? Very simple. Now the next one is ismi. Okay. Just the way, over here too. How many words are here? It's two. 1, 2. Ismi, Amina. But if you were to translate it, what is it?
It is
Ism,
Amina.
and then ya, and then Amina. Okay, so this ya right here is also a pronoun. It's a damir just like ka. Right? But ya, ka means yours, and ya means mine. So you'll say, my name is, and whether you're male or female, it will stay as a ya. It will not change. It's not like for a guy it will be ya, and for a girl it will be he. No, it will stay as a ya. Up to here, understood? Okay. Now we're going to come to the next sentence. Aina abuki. Okay, how many words are here?
Aina,
Okay.
then ki.
Okay, so aina, which means what?
Where?
Where? Abu,
Father.
Father.
and then ki. Okay, there are two things we're going to focus on this. One is, both of them you studied. Ka, as you guys learned, we've been talking about it because we're speaking to a female girl, so because of that it says ka. The real word for abu is ab. The real word for, and ab means what? Father. But remember what we said, whenever ab is made into a mudaf, and it's in the condition of a dhamma, it will always get an extra waw. So that's why we are adding a waw to this ab, because it is a mudaf ilayhi to the kam. Up to here we got it? As I said, most of this is pretty much review for you guys, which is good, because the more review the better. Okay, abi, which we just went over, my father. Huna. Huna is a new word you guys are learning, means here. Huna, right? Means here. Fi, you guys know, in. Al-Madina, you guys know. Al-Munawwara, you guys know. Okay, somebody tell me, why is Munawwarati? Why is there kasra here?
Fee made
Alif Lam.
al-Madinati
It's
Alif Lam.
jar.
Okay, well, alif lam, so that's why it doesn't have tin. But why is it not ta? Why is it not tu?
Feminine.
Sorry, what?
Feminine.
Feminine, no, even if it was a masculine, it would have been a kasra.
So,
It is because of fee.
Okay, what is fi doing?
Madinati.
Fee is making
It's Madinati and then.
Okay, so fi is doing this to Medina, so what's happening
It's
to
a
Munawwar?
sifa of Medina, so you need to match all four. That is marfa, so Munawwara is marfa, and it's both are feminine, both are jar.
Very good. So basically, Al-Madina and Al-Munawwara is Mawsuf in Sifa. Do you guys remember Mawsuf in Sifa? Mawsuf, we talked about Na'at and Man'ut. That's all it is, Mawsuf in Sifa. So, what is Mawsuf is the thing that's being described, which is Medina.
Oh yeah, okay, now I
And
understand.
and Sifa is the description of it. So that's it. So you're right, Fi is making the change to
yeah,
Medina.
So fee is making al-Madinati.
Yes.
And then because they are Sifa Masuf, al-Madinati forcing al-Munawwarati
Exactly.
because they have to match.
Because they have to
all
match.
conditions.
Exactly. Exactly. Did anybody get this or anybody needs me to repeat it? You guys got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody got, you got it? طيب. هو مفتش في المدرسة الثانوية. So هو is speaking about who? Huwa again, it's a pronoun and it means what?
He.
He. Huwa just means he. And for female, what will we say? Hiya. Hiya, and for a him will say. Okay, mufattishun is what?
Inspector.
Inspector. Mufattasha yufattishu is to inspect. He's an inspector. Fi in al-madrasa al-thanawiyya. Okay, why is the thanawiyya kasra?
Sifa Masuf.
Mawsuf sifa. Same thing like Madinatul Munawwara. We're speaking about Mawsuf sifa. Same thing. Madrasa Thanawiyya, Mawsuf sifa. Up to here, understood? طيب. Next one. Wa aina ummuki. It should be fairly simple. And where's your mother? Very good. Here, she. Aidan. Aidan we learned in the past means what?
Also.
Also.
Huna here.
Huna. Here. Here again is referring to her. Tabibatun. She is a doctor. Fi. Mustashfa. Mustashfa al-wiladati. Why is it wiladati?
You're talking Mustashfa as a in it.
Sorry? I want to know, I want you guys to answer me. And
Fi.
what makes
Fi.
mustashfa walidati, wiladati? Why is it T? Why not tu? Why not ta?
It may be ladies' hospital.
Okay,
It
so what
is
is
a
that?
maternity hospital,
Okay.
but I think again it goes to
Fee.
fee is making mustashfa does not change.
Yes.
That's mabni.
Okay.
And al-wiladati is the sifa of that hospital.
Okay, but now check to see if it qualifies in the four things. Check to see.
No, it
if
does not.
It does not, because mustashfa doesn't have alif lam and wilada has alif lam. So it cannot be mawsuf sifa. That's already crossed out. So what could be another reason for why it has kasra?
I think the other reason could be it is one thing, maternity hospital, that's the total thing, and fee is making majroor as such.
But even if it's one thing, we must have a reason for each word in itself. Arabic, every word has a reasoning behind it, even if it means one thing.
So as Shabir Bhai said that is a mabni, then second possibility is mabni, it will remain same that, and it's a mudaf, there is no alf, and then other one is a mudaf ilayh.
Very good, it's mudaf ilayh. And you guys translate it as that, right? Maternity hospital, which basically is the hospital of maternity, or the hospital of birth, right? So it's actually a mudaf ilayh. Mudaf ilayh. And as we know, mudaf ilayh. So you see, now you guys are getting your, well, that's why I told you, like the first volume was foundation. All we are doing in today's lesson, there's like almost nothing new that we're learning. We're just practicing the old stuff. And the more you practice, the more you get that strong, the easier it will be for you to catch these things without even thinking about it. But next, waman. What's man? Who and who? Hadihi al-fatatu. What's fatat?
That's
Child.
boy.
Yes, small young. What's it called? Girl, a small girl,
Oh,
right? ومن هذه. That's why it says هذه because it's a girl. هذه الفتاة. This young girl. التي. This is a new one. What's التي?
Allazi and allati.
Yes. So we learned alladhi already. We even talked about it in the Quran. Alladhi means that. So allati is the female version of that. Anytime you talk about a female, you'll say allati, not alladhi. Up to here we got it? Okay. وَمَنْ هَذِهِ الْفَتَاةُ. And who's this young girl? Allati, the one. Ma'aki. Okay, tell me what this word is. What does ma'aki mean?
Ma means with and
Ma
he
means with.
is the attached pronoun.
Very good. Ma'a
Female.
means with,
Female you.
and kaf is you. Ahiya ukhtuki. What's ahiya?
Is she your sister?
Very good. So ah here is for question, and hiya is she, and ukht is sister, and ki is yours. That's it. طيب. La, no. Hiya, she is. Bintu ammi. What's ammi?
Uncles. My uncle.
My uncle. The ya is over here for my. طيب. Masmuha.
What is her name?
What is her name? So ha is another pronoun. So far we use who a lot. Kitabu. Kitabu who means what?
His book.
Kitabu means his book. But if I was to say kitabu, ha,
Her book.
her book. If I say ismuhu, what's ismuhu?
His name.
His name.
But if I was to say ismuha,
Her name.
that's it. So that's it. Ismuha Fatima. Her name is Fatima. Ahiya zamilatuki. Is she your
Roommate or
Colleague.
colleague, classmate?
classmate?
Right? Zamil in Arabic means classmate, zamil. But since we're talking about a female, it's zamilatun. And then they add the ka to it, so it's zamilatuk. That's what it means. طيب. لا, no. No. أنا, I am, في المدرسة المتوسطة, I'm in middle school, وهي and she في المدرسة الثانوية. Everything in the sentence you know. لك أخت. What's ألك? What's this word right here?
It's question. Like
Okay, so I is for question,
Not for.
Lam is for, and Ka is for you. So basically, for you meaning do you have? Do you have ukhtun? Do you have a sister? La, no. Ma li ukhtun. Ma means don't. In this case, ma means don't. I don't. Li, I have. Ukhtun, sister. Alaki akhun. بالجامعة. So بالجامعة is in the university. ومن and who هذا الطفل, this child, الذي, which we just covered, the one, معك, who's with you, معك. هو, he is, ابن أخي, he's the son of my brother. ما اسمه, what's his name? اسمه سعد, his name is Sa'd. أأمك, what's أأمك?
His mother.
So the first is for question. And then the second is for mother, And then the ka is yours. Is your mother fil bayti, in the house, al-an, and al-an means now. La, no. ذهبت, she went, إلى, to, al-mustashfa, the hospital. So, how did it feel? Did you guys feel okay? You guys were getting things, or how was it? Most of the stuff you guys were getting? Right. This set of questions, basically these questions are based off of the discussion we just had, right? So it's saying, كيف حالك يا أبي? How are you, oh my father? So back up, if you go all the way up, this is answer, right? كيف حالك يا بنت? So the answer would be أنا بخير والحمد لله. It would be that. وكيف حالك يا أمي? So the difference he's trying to prove is this one is ka and this one is ki. أين ابنك يا زينب؟ ذهب إلى المسجد. أين ابنتك يا آمنة؟ ذهبت. So the point he's trying to make is ذهب for a guy and ذهبت for a girl. That's the contrast that he wants you to pay attention to. لمن هذه الساعة الجميلة? Right? Whose is this
Beautiful watch.
beautiful watch? أهي لك يا فاطمة؟ نعم هي لي. So over here we're talking about ki. The next one is going to be ka. أهذا قلمك يا محمد? Now we're talking to a guy. لا. هذا قلمك أنت. That's why we were talking to a guy, so we're saying قلمك. Now, تلك, that is السيارة الجميلة, the beautiful car. التي, the one. We're talking about female, so it's التي, not الذي. خرجت, left. الآن من المدرسة, the one that just left from madrasa. أأنت مهندس يا سيدي? Are you an engineer? Oh, my, it's Sayyidi is for a respectful way, uncle, or
I think need explanation on why is Kharaja P, not Kharaja.
okay, very good. So, in Arabic, whenever two sakins get together, then it will make the first sakin into a kasra. Let me explain now. Kharajat, it's supposed to be kharajat. Kharajat, there's a sakin there, right? Al-an. There's a sakin here, right? So because there's a sakin here, and because there's a sakin here, whenever two sakins come together, these two will drop the sakins and make it into one kasra. So it will become kharajati al-an. Kharajati al-an. So anytime two sakins come together, it will drop and basically convert into one kasra. That's why it is kharajatil ana min al-madrasa. That understood? That's like a very technical thing. I was purposely avoiding it because I don't want you guys to be like focusing on such details because I just want the more touchy, like you guys get those. But anyway, I mean, it comes, so we have to know it, right? So anyway, now you guys know. Anytime there's two sakins that get together, the two sakins will drop and make the first one into a kasra. Right?
I was confused, that's why.
Yeah.
And finally I figured it out. And
Yeah, that's why. So this is supposed to be kharajat. Okay. أنتِ طبيبة يا سيدتي? Are you a doctor? Oh, Mrs. لا. أنا مدرسة. I am a teacher. Over here, all it's trying to say is change the pronoun in the example sentences to feminine as explained in the example. So over here, the sentence is Aina qalamuka ya abi. Who are we talking to? Ya abi. Who are we talking to here? Abi is who? My father. Father is what? Masculine, feminine? Masculine. Muhammad is what? Masculine. But Amina is feminine. Sayyidi is masculine. Sayyidati feminine. Ali is masculine. Fatima is feminine. Akhi is masculine. Ukhti is feminine. Khalid is masculine. Khadija is feminine. Khali is masculine. Khalati is feminine. Ammi is masculine. Ammati is feminine. So since we are turning the person we're calling to, anytime you use the word ya, it's the person that you're speaking to. Ya Ahmad means I'm speaking to Ahmad. Ya Hamid, I'm speaking to Hamid. Ya Fatima, I'm speaking to Fatima. So it's telling us that you're speaking in this set of words to a masculine person. So therefore the pronouns, which is here and here and here and here, all of these will be masculine. But since over here we are speaking to feminine, we're going to have to change it. So indaka will change to indaki, baytuka will change into baytuki, laka will change into laki, anta will change into anti, abuka will change into abuki, anta will change into anti, and baytuka will change into baytuki, and go on like that. Very simple. Same thing now over here. You're changing the following sentence to feminine as explained in the example. So right now, all of these are masculine. We're talking about Muhammad masculine, Mudarris masculine, Abi masculine, Fatima masculine, Akhi masculine. It wants you to change it into everything into feminine right here. All of these should be feminine. But now, in order for it to turn into a feminine, you have to change the verbs into feminine as well. So kharaja here turned into kharajat. Dhahaba will change into Dhahaba will change into Jalasa will change into Kharaja will change into very good. Okay. This is where the question, for example, that Shabir Akam asked, what happened that there's a kasra? Here's another example. We just gave the example up there, but here the author is explaining it. Jalasat talibatu. So he's saying that, look, this is jalasati at-talibatu. Why? Because you had a sakin over here, which is right here, and then you had a sakin right here, and so whenever these two sakins come together, it turned into one kasra. So he's just explaining what I just explained a little while.
Can you say it again, please?
Sorry?
Can you please repeat it again?
Yes. So, as I explained before in the top, that anytime two sakins come together, it will turn into one kasra. Over here, there's one sakin, which is jalasat, right? That's a sakin. At-talibatu, on top of the lam is also a sakin. So that means two sakins are getting together, right? So this will change into a kasra right here. So this first sakin will change into a kasra.
Is there a name for this rule?
I remember what's it called? Actually, I remember the teacher making us memorize the definition of this in Arabic. إذا اجتمع ساكنان فانحطت فصار كسرا. That whenever two sakinan come together, it will drop and become a kasra. So I remember the Arabic definition, but there is no real name for it because it's you could say ijtima'u sakinain, the getting togethers of two sakins, right? Ijtima'u sakinain, whenever two sakins get together.
And this is definitely irrespective of second sakin, whether you pronounce that name or not, like Ta is
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Jumlatul Qamariya or a word of Qamari or Shamsi. Okay, now read the following sentence. All you're doing is reading. Basically, Man al-fata alladhi kharaja min baytik. Who's the child who left your house? Huwa ibn ammi. And man al-fata, this one is fata is for a boy. Therefore, you're using huwa. Fatat is for a girl. Therefore, you're using hiya. Fata, you're using alladhi. Al-fatatu, you're using allati. Fata, you're using kharaja. Fatatu, you're using kharaja. So you see how it's a ripple effect, it affects everything? I'll go back to it. See, fata, because this is a masculine word, Alladhi is masculine. Kharaja is masculine. The damir, the pronoun is masculine. The other pronoun is masculine, right? Now in this one, fatatu is feminine. Allati is feminine. Kharajat is feminine. Hiya is feminine. Bint is feminine. And so everything turned into Baytuki or Baytuka because we're talking to Muhammad. So all of those things basically become feminine. لمن المفتاح الذي على المكتب? Whose key is this? The one on the table? هو للمدرس is for the مدرس. لمن الساعة الذي على السرير التي على السرير. We're talking about ساعة, therefore ساعة is feminine, therefore it's التي. هي لزوجها. So اسم الموصول. اسم الموصول is the name for الذي or التي. This is called اسم الموصول. الذي or التي is اسم الموصول. So basically he's saying fill in the blanks with either الذي or التي. So for kitab, are you going to use الذي or التي? For qalam, for sayyara, for kalb, for fata, for batta, for jadi, for bayt, الدرس, الفتاة, حقيبة. That's it. Now it's just giving you the words. Am means akhul ab, which I'm pretty sure he probably has them down there explained as well. But basically it means uncle from your father's side. Khal means uncle from your mother's side. Sayyida means Miss and Mister. Amma means your sister, your father's sister. Khala means your mother's sister. Mustashfatul Bilad means maternal hospital. Okay. So it's basically summarizing everything for you. That you either use anta for masculine and anti for feminine. And then it's giving you these examples. For Amina, it's anti. For Maryam, it's baytuki. And for anta, you'll use ka. Baytuka ya Bilal. And you'll use dhahaba for masculine as a verb. Dhahabtu I went. Dhahabta she went. Dhahabat. This is the chart that we made. If you memorize that chart, you basically know what we're talking about. That's why I say dhahabat Maryam. That's why in dhahabat there's a sakin, and whenever there's a sakin, a verb, this was the one you guys were talking about. If a verb like this is followed by an, there's a sakin right here. But the sukoon is changed into kasra. So the girl, that's why it will become dhahabati. And then the next one is alladhi for masculine, allati for feminine. And then a sa'a, allati ala al-maktab al-mudarrisi. We're talking about allati, it's just examples now. Again, here's some vocab. All of the vocab is written for you here in Arabic, so it's quite easy to follow. And we're done with this. Any questions?
You made it very easy.
Well, we went for word by word, so I hope it was not too difficult.
That way, we can go back and
Review. Yeah, that's my main thing. At this point, I'm not trying to rush. I think we've covered the foundations of everything, and it's just reinforcing. So every lesson, we will learn one new thing and review 5 old things. Every lesson will be like that. In this lesson, for example, I think you guys probably learned maybe not even one new thing. I think everything has kind of been covered before. Maybe one new thing. But besides that, it's just review and getting into more practice. And that's what's going to make perfect, right? So we have a little bit of time. Should we do Quran or you guys want off? We have snacks as well.
these might have brought snacks, so if we don't eat,
Yeah, get back.
time comes,
Yeah,
we still need to do it.
yeah. So you guys want early chutti or you guys want to go through the Quran? No answer means early chutti, okay?
Did you just upload last week's class, the video?
I don't know if they if they recorded last week.
No.
And I don't think they did, and that's why I went to the review in the beginning, which was the fair file maful in the very beginning of the class.